Russian troops are relentlessly hitting targets throughout the so-called Ukraine. Particular attention is paid to those areas where targets of interest to our command are located. Last night, we hit objects on the territory of Odessa and the Odessa region. So, the strike was carried out by Kamikaze Giran 2 drones. By the way, videos with the so-called greenhouse of Sergei Shoigu are already circulating on the internet. We are talking about workshops and workshops where the same Girani are produced, which is struck. As a result, one of the goals was the Odessa commercial seaport, the neurological department of the Haji Sanatorium, as well as the Hydroport sports airfield. In addition, the commercial seaport of Yuzhny got it. The fact is that in the vicinity of the Haji, there was a position area of the NASAMS anti-aircraft missile system, made in Norway. And the territories of the ports are stored both ammunition depots and drones that are used to strike at the Crimean Peninsula to the nearest objects. One such attack was carried out last night. The target was the Crimean Bridge. Our troops repelled this attack and the bridge was not damaged. At the same time, the effectiveness of fire damage directly depends on the ability to deliver constantly effective strikes on enemy territory. In principle, this is impossible without high-quality human intelligence, without a high-quality additional check of all available possibilities. Therefore, the fact that we have now increased the ability to inflict fire attacks, strikes are a direct consequence of the strengthening of our fire damage capabilities to reconnaissance of targets. Here is another shot, a very interesting one, or rather shots. This is a video with the destruction of the Himars Azo in the village of Nikonorovka in the occupied part of the Donetsk People's Republic. For the first time, footage appeared on the network that testifies to the effective destruction of Himars from the recorded moment of covering the Milzo from the Iskander OTRK. The canvas filmed this process, and this is the first moment when we see objective footage of the defeat of Himars, its destruction. Yes, destruction was happening even before this, but until now, there wasn't such a video with video confirmation. There was shrapnel, there were pieces, there were some unconfirmed fragments, and the Russian troops were accused that there are no Himars in our account. Now this situation has clearly changed to the fronts of a special military operation pressing forward every hour. In its turn, despite the fact that more and more footage from various regions of conduct and special military operation front lines appears on the internet, here our front is shrouded in the fog of war. The enemy claims that we are advancing in several areas. Particularly, it is said that they managed to break through the front near Bodanivka, but there isn't any objective confirmation yet, and that we are already in the southern part of the village called Krasnoye. According to our information, the front also goes through Voronezhskaya Street, and we are also trying to occupy the turn of the road that leads from Bakhmut through Krasny, further to Stupochki to Kostiantinivka. The fighting continues. Without capturing this piece, jumping to the heights here will be extremely problematic. Therefore, our attack aircraft continue to conduct combat operations on this front sector. A third American Abrams tank has already been hit near Avdiivka, and it was hit again in the area of the village of Berdichi. There is a settlement there, despite the established. Russian troop control over a significant part of the village is still within reach for Ukrainian armored groups and infantry shooters who can make their way into the settlement and be stopped by our anti-tank guided missile crews, grenade launchers, and FPV drones. In addition, we continue combat operations to seize the entire settlement of Tonenkoye. Fighting continues on the northwestern and western edges of the village of Berdichi, and battles in Orlovka for the capture of Semyonovka continue. Hostilities are primarily aimed at reducing high defense capabilities and advancing further. As Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu stated, we have managed to not only rout the enemy, but also continue to pursue and prevent them from regrouping. There is also forward movement in several sectors on the Donetsk front. We are advancing in 3 directions from Marenka to the north. We are leading an offensive in Georgievka. We have managed to push along the railroad, capture Pogas, and also engage in combat. We're fighting in the area of Vatutina Street and moving toward an abandoned car repair factory. It's too early to say that the full-scale industrial complex will soon be under our control, to put it mildly, but such a pace of advance can't but bring satisfaction. On the western flank in Georgievka, we have advanced along the central street up to the intersection with Youth Street.